Is astrology a guide to aid us in mastering the universe? This is the Cosmic Community Podcast with Galactic Ambassador Stacy Dredd. I hope you're having a good day, and I missed being here last week. It felt like such a perfect still moment to have that time away. I did have a trip planned, and the Capricorn new moon was a beautiful time to slow down and take some time, and it just really felt like a calm before the storm. We do have some big astrology taking place this week, and quite frankly, one of the biggest weeks of the year in terms of planetary events here. So we'll get into that this week, and that is the start of Aquarius season, where Pluto and the Sun are going to be moving into Aquarius within hours of each other, ringing the bell into a fresh new energy and welcoming us into a more free-flowing form. So we will talk more about that later. That's on the 20th of January. But starting this week, this report is for January 16th to January 22nd. And we have a lot of communication aspects happening this week. We have a lot of Mercury themes also taking place. Mercury is the planet of our mind and of our communication and of our transportation, how we get around in this world and how we think about things and how we put thoughts together and sentences together. And Mercury is officially going to be leaving his shadow this week, also later on in the week. So we're still sort of we're in the last phases of this Mercury retrograde shadow, which means we're going to be using a lot of this big communication to close up a lot of those themes and cycles and things we've been working on, maybe projects or just conversations we've been having, or contracts we've been signing, anything that's kind of been in play for the last 5 to 6 weeks or so. Mercury works in these retrograde cycles and does this 3 to 4 times a year. So we have now almost a fast, quick moving Mercury. Things are going to start picking up pace. We're going to close up, button up shop on the old stuff. And by the end of this week, Mercury is going to be in new territory, and we're going to be working with fresh themes and officially moving forward. That sounds really good. But this week, it's the end of Capricorn season, and it's the end of this Mercury shadow. And so there are still these last few days of taking care of things that we've been working on during Capricorn season. Capricorn is all about building the structure and the framework and the skeletal system. It's a grounded energy, an earth-ruled energy. And there's a lot of Capricorn going right now as we have the Sun there, which makes it Capricorn season. And then there's also Mercury, Mars, and Pluto. Pluto's at the very last degrees of Capricorn. So there's a lot of concentrated energy here. We are looking at grounding themes that are going to be strategically and logically linking into place this goal setting that we've been doing. This is all Capricorn themed, and the ambitiousness of the Capricorn energy is going to help us to really push forward and make some forward progress. Capricorn is represented in the zodiac. The picture, the mascot, as you might say, is the sea goat. And that is a goat on the upper portion of the body and a fish on the lower portion of the body. And this is to signify that Capricorn and Capricorn energy is all about going to the depths of the ocean and also climbing to the tops of the mountains. There's an all-encompassing, ambitious determination to Capricorn. And this is like beneficial. We can use this to take these steps forward. And since we have some new territory coming up, we are looking into the future going, yes, we can feel it there. We can feel that newness coming. And so Capricorn is a very slow energy that can help us to take these logical steps forward and be very thoughtful about it and be very grounded and make sure that it's thought out. Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn. And so that's a very responsible energy that is definitely the father figure, like, making sure that all the things are in place for these things to be built on later in the future. So Mercury is in a sextile with Saturn during the next couple of days. And I just spoke about Mercury starting to pick up steam. We're starting to, think about these things in our future. These forward thoughts are happening, and Saturn is the ruling planet of Capricorn. This is a really great connection with accepting the responsibilities that we have right now, and accepting the responsibility that it's going to take, and to move into this place that we're looking to go. This is super positive. A sextile is basically like the two planets are walking hand in hand together. Mercury, the mind, is like, yep, I'm ready. Let's do this. And Saturn's like, take my hand. I will show you the way, and it will be logical, and we will get it done. Saturn is in Pisces right now, and that's a water energy, and it's also a mutable energy, which means that Saturn is more free flowing with thoughts right now. Capricorn is almost in the lead. This Mercury is almost in the lead, and it just feels really good to have the backing of that feminine Pisces Saturn energy saying, yes, you can do that, and we will figure out how to get it done, because I am free flowing and totally great with making sure that we're being flexible and everything is happening the way that it needs to. So Mercury sextile Saturn, really great for taking steps forward, taking responsibility. And so that feels really good. Later on in the week, on January 19th, that same Mercury comes into a trine with Jupiter, the planet of Jupiter. Jupiter's in Taurus right now. Jupiter is also in another earth sign. And so a trine is between the like-minded signs. So we have an earth trine on Friday between this really forward-thinking Mercury, really positively, moving forward, but logically, taking the responsibility that it needs to. Jupiter is going to only expand that and make it so you have more opportunities to do that. Jupiter brings good luck and expands things everywhere that it goes, and expands everything that touches it. And so we could have some bigger communications, some more communication coming in, some more opportunity on January 19th. And so that all feels super positive. Also, on January 19th, the planet of Venus, the planet of love and trust and values and money, is going to come into a square with the planet of Neptune, the planet of illusion and delusion, also the planet of kind of this unconditionally loving space. And this could be a really beautiful place for relationships. Another thing that Venus rules, relationships to be challenged in such a way that they're going to take a step up. Or, a square could also be like you kind of trip over it. And so the square is a little bit of a tougher energy. This could be, in terms of our finances, maybe something comes into play where, oh my gosh, I was under some type of illusion, or something gets like a kink gets thrown in there, for how like you're really understanding things or seeing things. In relationships, this could be a place where we are dreaming, because Neptune really expands our dreams and our dream space. And this is where we can create a lot of new dreams, new desires, new hopes in relationships and in terms of love and money. So then we get to January 20th. This is like the big day. This is like probably one of the two big days in 2024 in the astrology. And that's because Pluto is moving into a new sign, and Pluto is the slowest moving planet. And so when these slow moving planets make their way into a new energy, it is like ringing the bell into some fresh new territory. And what makes it so extra special is that the sun is going to be there to usher him in within hours before, paving the way for this newfound freedom that Aquarius represents and wants to bring in. Aquarius season brings with it fresh thinking. It's an air sign. So we get more communication. We get more thoughts. We get more ideas. And it's represented by the glyph for Aquarius is like the two lines that are squiggly on top of each other. And it just looks like wind blowing. And Aquarius is like opening up all the windows. And if you remember from a few weeks ago, I've been talking about a little bit of an air void taking place, right? Like there hasn't been a lot of air energy in the chart. Well, this is going to change pretty quickly on January 20th. These huge planets representing so much in terms of ourselves, the sun, our ego, our identity, and then Pluto is just the planet of transformation. We are going to go through some type of transformation. We are in it already. The sun is at 26.5 degrees of Capricorn right now as I'm doing the show, and Pluto at 29.52. And so this is already being felt. These planets are already joining. We are in this transformative moment already. This is going to open us up to a whole new sense of receptivity to change. When all of the windows get opened and stuff gets blown around the room, it's super disorienting. It's not expected. So if you can, locate all of your loose items per se, and maybe gather things up in a way that you can pat down some of your important documents with paperweights in places, knowing that this is going to be happening, knowing that there's going to be like this rocking of the ship coming up, because this is going to be felt in a powerful way. And Pluto has been in Aquarius before. This was 250 years ago. And so we have not known a time that we even knew Pluto was out there where Pluto's been in Aquarius. So this is actually fresh territory for astrology and astrologers and, people who study this. And so it's Pluto entering new territory is always exciting. June of 2022 was the last time Pluto was there. So now Pluto went into retrograde and then has stationed direct and is moving forward again. Later in the year, we are going to have Pluto station retrograde again and make one final dip into Capricorn, but we are finally feeling the freshness coming through. It's an ushering in of so many forward-thinking ideas. Aquarius season in general just brings future thinking, futuristic thinking. Aquarius is all about the future, like technology, innovation in technology, physics, all of those things that are super forward, and like black hole theory, and like anything that's like on the edge of propelling us into a new space. All of this UAP, UFO, all this stuff coming out about things that we know are out there that aren't ours, and we don't know what they are. Well, there could be a lot more news about these kinds of things. There could be a lot more talking about these kinds of things as Aquarius season comes in. It's a very open-minded, forward-thinking, idea-oriented sort of theme. And it's also, Aquarius is about the shift of power from the government to the people. And so Aquarius is all about the people and finding groups of people, finding tribes of people, your tribe. This could be the month or the next 20 years as Pluto is going to be dabbling in Aquarius, where we find our true tribe. You find your people, you find quote unquote where you belong. There is so much to Aquarius that's all about the true, authentic self. We really go into what makes me special, and how can I just live more authentically expressing that. So the transformation is deep, as you can tell from what the astrology is offering us. It's a time to truly, let the windows be opened up, and kind of be free with things getting a little jostled and tousled, and maybe a few pages being crimped, and this kind of energy where it's like, well, if that type of stir up didn't take place in my life, I never would have been able to see, this other option. And with Mercury making that trine with Jupiter this week, and with Jupiter being so strong in Taurus, with helping us find and really gather resources and tools. Taurus is all about providing, and providing for ourselves, but also providing for others. And so Aquarius energy and Taurus energy, it's sort of a little bit, it's in a square to each other. Aquarius is like power to the people, and Taurus is like, but I just kind of want to haul up with my stuff here. There's going to be something where we can balance out those scales. There's enough for me, but there's enough for everyone else also. And Aquarius energy is just so much into this giving of knowledge, and giving of service, and giving of ideas, and giving organizations, organizing groups of people, organizing funds of money, to give it away to people, this kind of thing. And Taurus is the sign of financial stability. And so we can find like a really nice crossroads here for bringing in that financial stability, realizing that there is enough for you, and there is enough also for others, and that, we can also keep the group in mind, keep that tribal mindset there. So, Aquarius, does have a bit of a challenging side with it in terms of the emotional detachment. There is an emotional detachment to Aquarius energy that is strong, and it's it's good to detach from your emotions and the way that you feel, sometimes to let in that more Capricorn logical, that more logical thinking, that more step-by-step thinking. Aquarius, being an air sign, can kind of be all over the place, and also can be just quite detached and can feel quite cold. And so finding the heart and still staying, in the heart of things is going to be really important. And that is something that our Leo full moon is going to be showing us next week on January 25th. The Leo full moon is going to be taking place, and that's going to bring us into our heart. It's going to show us, how to truly, come to that crossroads and find that balance, as we were talking. And next week also brings with it Uranus stationing direct, the last planet to station direct, which means that all the planets are going to be moving forward. Mercury is going to be completely out of shadow, and we are going to have a pretty important time of the year where it's going to be all forward moving energy, and all those little projects, all those things we've been waiting to do, all those things we're going to pick up, we're going to pull them off the shelf, and we're going to start working on some stuff. We'll be moving into so much new, fresh energy this week that it's almost going to feel unrecognizable where we've been. So as I was mentioning, do as much as you can to stay grounded in Capricorn season, and to pull all of your files off of. Maybe it's a time to clear your desk, and clear all the papers, and just kind of like have everything put away, so that when things get kind of shaken up a little bit, that you don't have too many things falling off the walls, or papers blowing around the room and stuff like that. In terms of life, you know exactly what I'm talking about, if that makes sense. So I'm here to work through the transformation with you. Thank you so much for being tuned in today. And I will be back next week. And I hope you have a really amazing start to Aquarius season. Peace. Thank you for listening to the Cosmic Community Podcast. More can be found at kpov.org/thecosmiccommunity.